Hey everybody, we're back. Ascension 10 already? Feels like only yesterday we were on Ascension 9. I've been doing this a long time. It's not gonna be like original jokes every single time, okay? I'll choose a rare. Oh, how delightfully devilish, Seymour. I like Unload as a card, but I knew Alchemize, and you, sir, you are no Alchemize. Important question. Where do we go? I would love to get a campfire before we fight an elite. So I actually think we go right path. Lots of opportunities to add cards. And we do need damage. Okay. We do need some attacks because we didn't take Unload. We took Alchemize instead. Which I stand by 100%, by the way, but we need to have a little bit of offensive punch. But then if we can go to the campfire, make Alchemize free, add a burst, maybe a Sacred Bark, yada, yada, yada. I don't think you need me to tell you where I'd like to see us headed. Eviscerate is really good. I would rather buy the Eviscerate. Well, I think it's really good. I guess I shouldn't say it so definitively. I would rather have an Eviscerate early because at least we can play it. Even if we don't get a huge combo, we can play it for good damage versus a Tactician, which is like very dependent on drawing. I mean, it's nice in general when you draw Tactician and survive, but like sometimes you don't have the energy to play much meaningful, whereas I think I've explained myself enough. Let's move on. I guess what I'm trying to set the stage for is like, if we get a great turn with Eviscerate, that's great. Obviously, because that's what we just said. But if we only get to play it for 3, I think that's still pretty good. I can live with that too. And it is another upgrade target as well. It might even be, like, to be honest, a good upgrade target before Alchemize, but I'll take it prepared. I'm not trying to force the builds. It's just like, it's what we saw in the shop first, man. Like, you gotta go where the cards go, and the cards are going this way. You not attacking is gonna, I'm sorry, it's gonna go down as the biggest mistake of your life, because you gave me a huge opening there. Now, we do have an Alchemize. Do I want to pop something? The least valuable potion right now, I think, is the Swift Potion. That could be better or could be worse, depending on who we go up against. A Speed Potion. Oh, but a Speed Potion with an Ancient Potion. Oh, an Ancient Man? I'll take a Dagger Spray. We need some AoE. But maybe just one. Just a wafer-thin Dagger Spray. So if anything, when we draw Alchemize, we should try to find a good opening to use our Skill Potion here. 21 Yeah, you're done, bud. So you just look at the flexibility it gives you, man. It's just, I mean, it's been tons of episodes now, like basically in a row, where I just talk about how good this card is, but can you blame me? I mean, look at the power that it's given us early on. This is with no upgrades, too. So I think Fairy in a Bottle, we can... I hate to add more defense, but Fairy in a Bottle, we could just dump. The dream, I suppose, would be that they give me an event to lose it to get a relic. Imagine, though, if I had called it. Okay, Blind Acrobatics would take either. Would take either. Would take both. Noxious, Noxious. Acrobatics, Acrobatics. I'm happy to not have Neutralize, to be honest with you. Blind him? I think we're going in on turn 1. I definitely think that means we're doing that. Which means we don't have to dump Fairy in a jar. Beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. Now, having 5 decks up against the Lagavulin, that's something that I don't know if I've ever experienced before. We don't have a ton of damage, necessarily, but... I appreciate what it's doing for me. I was hoping to see this would be a great turn for Eviscerate. No Eviscerate, huh? Give me the Alchemize. Honestly, it's probably not going to get better than doing that. The Noxious is going to be too slow given where we're at in the game right now. And we should have you next turn. We still haven't taken very much damage. It's just like... It's kind of... We've slowed down our pace for sure. But great use of the potions, man. Horn Cleat, very nice. All-out attack is a discard engine with AoE. It is a little scary. If anything, like, because it could discard bad stuff. Or stuff that's good for us, I should say. It would be bad for us to discard it. We do... I wouldn't say we have a problem. But I would say I'm going to try to be getting out ahead of a problem, which is that our deck is now thicker than it normally would be for the stage of the game in which we're at. So I want to be really proactive about removing stuff that is not good, which is obviously our basic strikes. And defense we can keep for now, because I don't think we've added... Well, we've added a little defense, but if we can maybe even take like the bird cage or something like that. And if we do that, like everything could come out just fine here. I think we should... I mean, we have Fairy in a Jar. I think we should anger the mushrooms. Kind of a heinous first turn draw, I think, but life goes on. Just give me the 10 block. And I swear it's crazy. I still don't remember what this relic does, man. This relic... Get out of my face. You have 8 HP? Oh, you are a piece, man. Vulnerable will make you do 9. You'll do 6. You'll be dead. We should do it this way, then. You make it so vulnerable enemies take 75% damage instead of... like 175% damage instead of 150% damage? Or... you make it so I take 25% more damage instead of 50% more damage when I'm vulnerable. I guess we'll just find out in like a millisecond. You take 25% instead of 50. Okay, that's good. There are, I mean, enemies that make us vulnerable are extremely annoying. So I think I want Blind to be upgraded before the next floor, because it makes hallway fights a lot easier, especially when you think of like the birds. But for now, we don't need it because the boss... That's very nice. The boss doesn't require it, but it still might be the best pickup because we might not have another chance to level it. Do we have progressive damage? We actually do. I was just thinking about whether or not I want to pop the cultist potion. I'm just going to use the better safe than sorry principle on that. Which is that, like, you can't go back in time and take the cultist potion 7 turns early, so, like, let's just get it out now if we're not 100% confident. Totally fine. Totally fine, man. Totally fine. I didn't want to draw my good cards anyway. 14 block already. We should play Eviscerate, man. It would be nice to make you weak longer, but it's also nice to do some damage. I think that, like, this deck is really going to start to pop, too. Once, very nice. Once we get, the discard engine, like, really off the ground, get some sneaky strikes or something like that, or, I don't know, a few more Eviscerates that can really pop. Because, as of right now, like, we're not consistently taking advantage of, Kunai, which is actually, like, a great relic. Normally, we'd probably like to have it on like a Shiv build or something like that because it's mindless to gain decks with it. But I still think we can have like a lot of turns with 3 or more attacks, maybe even 6 or more attacks if things start to turn out right. But we got a little legwork to do first. But these are no-brainers. I mean, to be honest with you, we probably wasted the cultist potion. We probably did not need to burn it. But you're really eating it. And this is like... People might be like, NL, with all due respect, there's no need for you to take noxious fumes. And you may be right, but like, the damage that it deals there, can somebody take a look at the damage that it dealt there? Because it was doing good damage. Yeah, it only did 7 on that turn. and then 6 the turn before it, and 5 the turn before that, and 4 the turn before that. Like, you know, it's done a lot of damage on the way up. So I think we're only like kind of a discard deck. Because we only have Eviscerate that pays off on the discards. But then, and Envenom doesn't really fit what we're trying to do either. So let's just take the Unload. We can build around it. In a weird way, I kind of hate taking Slaver's Collar. Because, like, inconsistent energy gain is, like, dangerous. Because I might just not remember that I have it. Dude, you know what? We said we wanted to remove Strikes in Defense. Let's Pandora's Box. Let's evaluate this, okay? Probably not going to be worth too much in this deck. I would say fine. I would say fine. I would say good. I would say irrelevant. So let's say not great. Mediocre. Mediocre. Fine. Bad. Good. Great. That, on aggregate, I think that's pretty horrible. Just to be 100% with you. But I don't think we're cooked. By any stretch. But I do think I'm going to be making a beeline for the shop as soon as possible. On the bright side, well, what's the negative side? We have like no blocks. That's the, we have, oh, I've accidentally opened the Epic Games Store and frozen my face. Yeah, we have like 1 block, I guess. I'm just going to dump them for now. But on the bright side, and you gotta think about both if we're being fair, right? If we're gonna be fair with one another. On the bright side, we have no strikes or defense. Can't argue with that. Show me where strikes and defense are good, because I was of the opinion that strikes and defense were not good. I'm gonna poison you a little bit more. This is it's gonna sting for a minute though, okay? I'm almost like of the opinion that I need to add basically any block to the deck that I can, even if it's complete garbage. You are dead. Thank God you are dead. Holy cow, because we have no means to stop the bleeding, man. Piercing Wail is defense. Let's add it, and we're going to try to survive for a minute. I'm going to save some money and tank a Curse with Omamori to get Eternal Feather. Okay, we're puzzle solving. Spin the wheel, get card removal. Card removal will go crazy. Gold is also nice. Is that still 200? It is. Okay, this shop has to change everything. I don't think it's going to. So what is, like, useless for us? There's a lot. A Poison Stab has no purpose of being in the deck. Dash is a block. Chemical X works with Malaise and both Doppelgangers. I didn't even think about that until just now. We have another shop coming up. I'm gonna buy a weak potion, and I'm gonna save the rest of my money to hopefully use at that shop to buy even more cards that can help out our defense. These guys are still on 3 pieces. That's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful, man. Absolutely wonderful. Look at this. Unexpectedly great first turn. And we do have an Alchemize. If we draw it, you got to figure out when you're going to play it. Because we got 3 potions that we're kind of, like, not too disappointed with. I don't know what I'm gonna. I mean, I'm drawing some interesting cards. The Chemical X Doppelganger is. It's a rare one for me. I think I'm gonna say that we don't need Fairy in a Bottle. We've been holding it too long. A skill potion is way, way, way more valuable. We have 7 energy. Are you kidding me, man? That went extremely well. I will add a backflip. Now, the deck is it's gonna thicken up, okay? I would have loved to have kept it nice and, you know, just very streamlined for the specific purposes of draw and discard, but it doesn't appear that that's gonna be in the cards for us today. my initial thought of the best upgrade target is Malaise. Reasoning to be determined later. Okay. Okay, think about this. Use your noggin. Tons of discards. Tons of discards. So Eviscerate should be free, but we might want to play some stuff first. We're probably not going to play Piercing. Although for 1 energy, Piercing Whale means we have to play no blocks. But you could play Piercing Whale. Then unload. Get a free Eviscerate. We have a Dagger Spray in the deck. No, I think you should dump the Mad Gremlin. Just wipe him. And then like the math is really bad right now. But the idea is that like over time, 1 good Malaise. I don't know what we're gonna do with this Blade Dance, man. 1 good Malaise puts us into a position where like you can't do damage to us ever again. So we kind of like bootstrap the Doppelganger there. You need to pass away here. Keep blind. Dump an Endless Agony. Use blind. Use dash. Crazy Malaise that hopefully makes it so you can never do damage again. And still like a reasonably good Doppelganger. Smoke Bomb. I don't think we need it on this fight. You are hidden like a truck, though. Maybe Too Noxious allows you to play Expertise with space. Dagger Spray comes through in the clutch. I would love to wipe you out. I don't think that's going to happen. So let's just Doppelganger once more. I just hate to be made weak forever by this little gremlin, man. It's just so annoying. These, we can basically, I don't want to say we can make Eviscerate free, but we can make it like mighty cheap. On this one, I think like we're doing great. We just need like more AoE would be really nice. But I think we pretty much got what we're looking for. I'm content to dump that, man. This may not kill you, but it'll make you wish you were dead. Oh no, I'm gonna have enough block anyway from this and this and then this, and you're only gonna do 5 damage to me, and you're in lethal range, man. Now we are gonna be made weak like forever, but if I could just do like 1 attack that kills you, it doesn't really matter. Like who are you calling a loser now? You're done, bud. I don't even know what we want to see, man. I don't even know. Are we still taking discard engine cards? I think we should. We still have kind of like the scaffolding. Terror is a very valuable card, man. Probably more valuable than just removing. Everything else, I mean, Blade Dance is kind of like, it builds in a dex, which is nice, but it does make it less likely that you're going to draw stuff related to the discard draw engine. All right, now this is spooky. We could just leave, but I don't think we should. Because a Piercing Whale mitigates a lot of the risk. This helps. This helps. You're doing 12. And then, like, I don't know how much longer you're going to live. You're weak for 2 turns. Well, let's weaken you too. I don't know if you're really doing much, but we take 0. The downside is we also did 0. But then this turn we start with some block. And basically no cards that do anything useful at all. So I'm just gonna... We don't have to leave yet. We haven't suffered any ill fate. But we do have to... Next turn we have to like do damage or leave. Because we're not... like, nothing's happening. And we're vulnerable. Not as vulnerable as we could be, but... more vulnerable than I'd like to be. Alright, let's put 3 random attacks in the draw pile. From the draw pile. We have 1 random attack. We really want to get Terror. There it is. Dump a Flying Knee, play a Terror, play an Eviscerate. You're dead. Have we actually, like, done it? Have we statistically placed ourselves over the enemies and now, like, the world's our oyster? I feel like we kind of have, man. There are a lot of wounds going around. There's no doubt about it. I don't think anybody would question the amount of wounds going around. Nobody said anything about it. I don't know why you're being weird about it. But now, I got noxious fumes out there. I'm applying 4 poison per turn. Like, I'd love to know what your Avengers Endgame is here. I don't think it exists. I think you're more like the Avengers in Infinity War, and I'm going to leave it at that because I don't want to spoil anything. A lot of people haven't seen those movies yet. Beautiful. I honestly thought, for the first 2 turns, I thought there was no way we got anything done. I do think... I don't just want to take defense, but I do think a dodge and roll upgraded is nice. I think it's useful. And can I say something? Maybe our doppelgangers are pulling their weight. Part of that is Chemical X. But I don't know if we do as well as we've done if we don't have the doppelgangers kind of like backstopping us. Very interesting. Very interesting. Very interesting indeed. Holds up Spork. I think Caltrops is another card that, like, weirdly enough, if we can remove it easily, I would love to remove it. But I guess there's some bosses that it'll kind of body as well. But it's not doing much for us, like, as it stands right now. Similar, I don't think we need a Noxious, man. I don't know, I tried to play a Noxious for 0. Imagine if that had worked. If you just play the cards fast enough, you don't have to pay the cost. A man can dream. Okay, a man can dream. 9 energy. So we should really just play everything. Or, alternatively, we can play a huge malaise that just ruins your life. And then we can do whatever we want forever. Because you can't really do anything. Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel bad. Like, I feel like I'm punching down. You do 0 damage, man. You got 9 strength down and 11 turns of weakness. Like, what's the game plan here? There is none? There's no game plan? Alright. Get thee to a nunnery, then. Choke is interesting, man. I can't shake, like, the mental specter I have of, like, if you have 30 cards in your deck, you're bad at the game. So I don't think that's true, especially, like, when the starting cards are bad and you need to dilute the deck a little bit to get them less often. I understand that we have also taken Pandora's Box, so that's not relevant. I'm just saying in general. 8 damage. Can I be honest with you? I just don't really feel like dealing with this. That's more something that I feel like dealing with right here. A sneaky strike is like exactly what we want to see. I promise you, this is going to give us like so much more decks than you believe that at present it will give us. If we make it through this fight, and I really do think we have a great chance of making it through this fight. Especially with Terror. Terror is a big card. Okay, so use your brain. At the very least, we want to pop these 2. Sounds good. Dump it. Dump it. We don't have to pop this yet. We can always save it for the next floor. We're going to pop it, pop it, pop it, pop it. Make you weak. You know what? Get those cards out there. And then it's still a really, really good doppelganger. We're going to draw more than the cards that we're able to hold. Terror is very important. Neutralize is free. Now start working it, okay? You don't need a big doppelganger because it's not like a doppelganger in the skewer combo, which is something I never even really thought about. But now I'm like, hang on, I gotta try that. Let's draw. Let's dump it. Alchemize. We would be happy to use Ghost in a Jar. This isn't the right turn for it. Honestly, I think it sounds crazy. I think you just play your doppelganger again. Set up another big turn. Alchemize or all-out attack had a really good chance to, like, drop it. So the gimme is, like, Dash Malaise, which is exactly what I'm going to play. Maybe I'll throw a Noxious in there just to stay ahead of the game. But this at least makes, like, the first phase of this fight nothing. You're going to lose the debuffs eventually, but in the meantime, given that you're nothing, you discarded exactly the right card. What is my game plan? Well, we're here. We might as well do something, right? My game plan is gain as much dex as possible via the kunai. We probably might be able to gain like 2, but that's not so bad. We might even, to be honest with you, only be able to gain 1. But we did a lot of damage to begin with because we were able to focus on playing just the... Hang on a second here. We were able to focus on playing just the offensive cards. Now, and I knew it. What did I tell you? I told you we would get some free decks here. And now, just like when you do your big attack, which is like right now, we'll just pop that. And I know what he's saying, okay? Because like I'd be saying the same thing. He's saying no fair. Sneaky Strike's not going to work. Thank God we had the last run, so we now know, or remember at least, it's top of mind. Dump that. Play this. Play that. And we basically put the boots to him, to be honest with you. There's nothing he could have done. He didn't do anything. He's been killed. He did no damage to us. We have more than a full stack of potions available to us. Honestly, a second Malaise with Chemical X seems to fit very nicely. And I don't think we need any more... Oh. So I actually don't think Sacred Bark is that good. But I do think the way I play the game, it shines. Because I don't think I'm emphasizing the weighting of the cards the way that the average person in Slay the Spire is right now. And I may be humbled by that when we get a little further into the Ascensions. But for now, I'm loving every minute of it, man. So you're doing 21 damage. I don't take that lightly. Except for the fact that I got 21 block here with your name on it. New build just dropped. Chemical X and every copy of every card you see that costs X. The Everything app. Caltrops, you're making me sick, man. Get out of my face. You need to be weakened. 15 damage. 15 damage at worst. And we're looking just fine. The double doppelganger, 5 extra cards, 5 extra energy. They're calling it the greatest piercing whale in human history. Brendan Fraser, am I a joke to you? That's not piercing. I mean, emotionally piercing, I guess. Maybe. The jury's out. I know you won Best Actor, but like at the same time, I do feel like everybody was happy to see you win Best Actor, but I think looking back on it, I'm not going to say that people are saying you don't deserve it, but they are seeing The Whale as maybe a little bit more emotionally manipulative versus like a masterpiece that it was originally lauded at when it first showed at film festivals. That's all. I'm not trying to put Darren Aronofsky on the hot seat, you know? I'm just calling it like I see it. I'm holding a mirror up to the culture. You came back to life, huh? It may be time to start thinking about the cards that I actually play instead of just playing them. Because now you're coming back to life. I really like, we can't really kill more than one of you in a turn unless we draw Eviscerate, huh? That's how it's gotta be. That's good enough. I'm not gonna add another one. It's just, it's a little too many. 2 copies of a card, sure. 3 copies. Dude. They're calling it the most overused joke of all time. They're calling it the greatest apotheosis in history. Yeah, sure, I could be persuaded to add another Alchemize. Ceramic Fish. I will transform a card. We don't need Caltrops. I don't care who the boss is. I'm happy you're having a deflect, honestly. And I'm gonna Elite Max, so get ready. I am going to pop the worst regen potion of all time, so that we can actually have, like, a functional Entropic Brew. And, like, these are statistically significant, my man. We have another Dex potion I probably won't use. I think I'm just gonna try to ruin your life with a 5 cost Malaise. We really... Oh, but you gotta play Doppelganger before Unload. We don't need this much gas out of Doppelganger, man. It's a little much. It could set up an absolutely insane Malaise. But at some point, I gotta kill this guy, man. So let's play Deflect. Let's play 0 cost stuff. We don't need to play a Piercing Whale. We could Dagger Spray, dump a Survivor. Noxious for progressive damage. Backflip for draw. Prepared for tempo. We'd love to keep the Doppelganger going. Dump that. And you know what? Dump you're already so weak. We don't need a leg sweep. Play the Eviscerate. Play the Flying Knee. Play the Dagger Spray. I would honestly, you're so weak already that I'm going to add to it. And we'll just take a mild Doppelganger. 2 damage, huh? That's cute. Alright, so Apotheosis. We have a good Acrobatics that hits Tactician. That's a dream. Alchemize creates a Flex Potion. I bet you're going to give me a potion at the end of this fight, so I'm going in. And it turns out, by the way, my instincts were 100% wrong. We had no reason to attack him because we had just set up the ultimate death in like no time flat. It was very easy, actually. I will make Apotheosis cheaper, even though with, like, Doppelganger is allowing us to consistently draw high energy cards and still be able to play them. Something's working, man. I love it. 12. Okay, give me a second here to think this through. Like, you probably should play Eviscerate, but there's a part of me that's like, screw it. 9 extra cards, which we can't even draw. 9 extra energy, which we can't actually use. Or can we? So give me a lot of plated armor. 2 Gambler's Brews. They're calling it the greatest piercing whale of all. I don't know what you want me to say. I'll stop doing it when they stop giving it to me. We do want to see Terror. We do want to see all-out attack. Let's just dump the Ascender's Bane. Let's pop this. A Flex Potion. Okay. I feel like this fight will likely give us a potion as well. I kind of feel like I have to hit you a little bit. Then drop an all-out attack. Please don't hit Malaise. Thank you. And then just Malaise you, and you now become, like, completely inert for the rest of the match. Or you do 18 damage, which is, like, surprisingly... And it's not a lot, but it's, like, more than I would have expected given the circumstances. So then I nuke you a little bit further. You're 17 strength down. I'm just going to be honest with you. I don't think you should be doing much at all right now, but what do I know? Very nice. Surprisingly nice. We could really use, like, a pen nib, man. Just something to inject, like, a little bit of semi-passive damage into the ecosystem. Or we could play our damage cards when they show up, but... that's neither here nor there. Hey, you focus on you, buddy. Now, the only thing I think I have to remember for the boss fight Ew. Is... Bag of Prep's kind of crazy, too. Is, to save one malaise for phase 2. Which might mean saving a doppelganger, so you can chain the doppelganger into a big malaise, but that might be too much. But okay, so I'm gonna use a colorless potion. I'm gonna take 2 draw, because it's also gonna give us some dex, presumably. I'm going to dump that. I'm gonna play that. Like we got a lot of cards to play before we even start to play cards. Now, with this all in mind, we could drop a malaise on you, but also could easily drop a Gambler's Brew and hope that we just kickstart the whole system all over again, which is basically what has ended up happening here. I can't believe it was only like a 66 damage eviscerate at the end. I guess I'm used to having the strength from like all the potions we basically scam from the system. This still seems totally fine. Would I even dash? Bro, I think I just dropped like a great doppelganger on you. Doppelganger, I don't directly see its positive effects, but I can't deny that after every turn in which I've played a good doppelganger, I end up having an awesome turn and going like, wow, how did that happen? So, I mean, I'd have to be a little silly to not acknowledge that. I think it's doing some fantastic work for us. If I'm being honest with you, I don't know what I'm doing at this point, because I'm just playing cards, man. I mean, at this point, wait, how many turns is left before you go insane? Whatever. Whatever, man. It has to be done. You're only doing 22 damage. It's nothing. It's garbage. Although I don't have the crutch of actually like weakening you. We have a discard. We don't. We do. It's a little spicy. And it did not hit, but that's okay. I like the last few runs, but especially this one, have really illustrated for me that I still got a lot more to learn about like what constitutes a good Slay the Spire deck. Because this deck like doesn't, in my opinion, it doesn't have a theme. Like, the theme is just the cards are good. Which, to my roguelite brain, sounds like, no, you have to have, like, some kind of synergy. I guess we do have cards that, like, work well together, which is the definition of synergy. They work better together than just adding their effects together. But, I don't know. Like, do you know what I mean? Or do I sound insane? Like, I'm like, this doesn't feel to me like it should be doing as well as it is, but I don't think anything's wrong. I think it's just my mental model for how to build a Slay the Spire deck is incomplete. Which is obvious, but I digress. I think we just play that, man. And then you're pretty much cooked. I hope. Well, if I could just get, like, an attack. It could happen. It could happen. Whatever, buddy. Oh, I can't even play the Alchemizer, but we got a power potion. That's crazy. Now, we might have to be, like, a little sensible against you. Because we need to have damage, like, every turn. This turn, probably not a problem. But every turn can be kind of an issue. Let's dump those. Another Eviscerate. Pop the potion. That's very nice. That could really help us get out of a jam. You're like the hardest fight for us with this deck, I think. Because even Malaise, I think, is not that great against you. It'll slow you down, but it's not gonna stop you. Especially when we play it for 0. Now, Terror, on the other hand, is gonna ruin your frickin' life. 8 damage. 8 damage, we put up 6 block, but then you're only doing 6 damage. We don't even need it because we could just go, we get the passive rest at the campfire anyway, but now on this one we need to flex, man. Even if we're only using it for like 1 attack. You have to dump Doppelganger, unfortunately. We still take a little damage off it, but we only have 1 more turn. You just want to see attacks, man. I don't have the energy required to play it. No! That's okay. We're fine. Annoyed, but fine. I'm going to send it. You know why I'm going to send it? Because we bodied you last time, and we have the greatest regen potion in human history. Dump it. Play it. You're doing 9 damage. You're also dead, though. No, you're not dead. I can't do math, man. We're going to get 2 of the same card. I mean, it's a bad start. We did heal for 10 at the start of the turn, so there is that, but I'm kind of using that as an excuse if I'm being honest. Okay, Endless Agony rinses you. Let's not throw like right at the very end here, okay? Let's be a little bit smarter, hopefully. You can definitely dump a Deflect and then draw 2 cards for free, which is like a disgusting value. And then you're weak for 3 turns. I think that's a great setup for a Doppelganger. We still have tons of healing coming out. All we gotta do is like normalize. We know Dagger Spray is gonna be good. We know all out attack gets a kill, so don't play that. You gotta play that. Maybe just like one, like a Flying Knee, Noxious, 1 Eviscerate, and then an all-out attack for crowd control. And now, like, okay, now I feel like I know what I'm doing again. Which is a dangerous position to be in, but... Yeah, I got rid of the malaise, man. I don't know what you want me to say. Like, we could cause you to lose more strength, but I think, if we're being honest, like, no matter what we played, we were probably just fine, but... It's the principle of the thing, man. Any attacks? Anybody interested in putting some attacks in the deck? Or a Calcum could be good. Cunning Potion, at the very least, is 1 dex. So I think we're totally fine. But we do have to be a little bit careful. Not super careful, a little bit careful. It's a great start. You pop this, dump Tactician, play this. Now you got to play your powers. You can choose if you want to play them all. We're gonna play 2 Envenoms for sure because it's gonna make it way easier to build poison on you. Distilled Chaos, sure, why not? Holy cow! Alchemize Apotheosis, unload. My whole hand is gone. Terror on the worst possible unit. I've made a huge mistake. How about draw? That's not it. This isn't helpful at all, man. I mean, on the bright side, we got some extra dex out of it, but we did take more damage than I think we should have. But really, no one to blame but myself on that one. Dump Piercing Wail for now. No need for such a big Doppelganger, but it's just the way the chips shook out. Now, drawing Malaise would go crazy, which happened. Before we play Malaise, let's make sure we got at least a reasonable amount of block. I'm a little too lazy to do the math, but that should make you not much of a problem. That should make you pretty easy to deal with, especially with like Orichalcum. 2 outmaneuvers is really ticking me off, man. It's ticking me off so much, I'm gonna play both of them. Don't we have another Alchemize in here somewhere? Maybe we played... Oh, we probably got one with Distilled Chaos. Well, in spite of the disaster that was like the start of this, I think Bob Marley was right, man. I think every little thing is going to be all right here. We have to rebuild the poison from 0 in phase 2. Not ideal. Which is actually why I'm not going to play Doppelganger. I feel like if we have to get a little bit lucky again. But if we can chain like a Doppelganger into a Malaise on phase 2, it'll do the same thing to phase 2 that it did to phase 1. Then I'm also like, we could just pop an energy potion on phase 2. We've attacked one time. Let's get our decks up. Okay. 40 damage. 40 damage, not ideal. It gets worse because he starts to put voids into the deck. But I guess that's where an energy potion that gives us 4 energy actually starts to make that kind of like a moot concern. Yeah, I think he's cleared. So I'm running out of ways to make it seem tense. We did a really good job. Kind of like half by accident. But you have to admit, like, I don't know, I'll never be mad at anybody for winning with Pandora's Box. Like, Snecko I wouldn't be mad at you. But I'd be like, if you were trying to act like it was a super hard run that you won in spite of Snecko I would be like, that seems a little crazy to me because it might be the best relic in the game. But if you're like, Pandora's Box, I had to nut up and take it, I would be like, I get it. Because that's a little... it is Malaise, oh my god! I'm a firing Malaiser. What I'm trying to say, I guess, is like, I feel like Pandora's Box is kind of like the relic that people think, they talk about Snecko I as if it is. Snecko I is good, but people are like, oh, I'm so zany because I took it, sometimes. Pandora's Box, on the other hand, is also good, I think, but it really is like, it hits you with a meteor of variance immediately that could be amazing or could be unrecoverable, instead of like smoothed out variance, stepwise, turn over turn. Shut up and put the cards in the bag. Okay, I hear you. I don't disagree. Chemical X also just kind of like the star of the show, man. The belle of the ball. If it wasn't for Chemical X, I don't know if we make this. Because all the amazing Doppelganger plays, all the amazing Malaise plays, basically just become dead draws that I play for 0. But good run. Very good run. We're up to Ascension 11 for now. Thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. See ya!